So our first topic is development of the business idea.
Mm-hmm.
So the first question is, what process did you follow in developing your business idea?
Business ideas generally kind of come to you, so you see where the problem is. One of the things I spotted very early on. So when I was working for a fintech startup in London, one of the struggles that they've had themselves were hiring for devs, and all the businesses that I used to speak to had the same issue with hiring, especially for guys to do like even technical roles. And I thought, there must be a problem here, because if you think about it, young people use technology on a daily basis. To give you an idea, so in Europe, 8 to 18-year-olds spend roughly about 8 hours of their day in front of a screen. So that could either be a phone, an iPad, a laptop, or a TV, or anything. So that's pretty much a third of their day. So it's crazy that they consume a lot of technology, but there aren't enough people to create it. So, I thought there was something wrong here. The system was broken. So I looked into what schools were doing. So schools were still, up until like 2014, they had the old, IT or ICT curriculum. Since 2014, there's a massive push on coding. They've now released, or they made coding compulsory, so they start teaching it from sort of primary schools. So that was one of my frustrations, that yes, young people use a lot of technology, but we're not really encouraging them to be creators of it. There really isn't many opportunities for them to go and build and break things. If there was a kid who's into football, for example, he could go on the weekends, go and join a football club and play. If a kid's into music, he can go, find a couple of guys who are into the similar thing and go to music classes maybe. But for kids who are into technology, who enjoy coding, it's quite a lonely place, because they spend a lot of time on their own trying to figure things out themselves. They're so limited by what schools are teaching them. They could ask parents for help. Some kids are fortunate in the sense that, their parents might come from tech backgrounds, but that's quite a small minority. So what we wanted to do was create an ecosystem where young people can go and learn these skills, but at the same time apply it to build and break things. And that's what we do. So that's where the whole idea came from. So you don't really set out to go and say, oh, I want to become an entrepreneur, I'm going to go and find an idea. It kind of leads to it. So you start with something, but you pivot till you get to a stage where it's a viable sort of product and is actually solving a problem.